So I've been reading the comments of the last few videos, and I know that a lot of you wanted me to comment on the situation currently of Xavi Simons, of him, of course, leaving to Paris Saint-Germain, and the state of La Masia. I thought that today was going to be a perfect moment to do so, as Patrick KLUIVERT, and I've tried this like 10 times because I cannot nail down the pronunciation of his name. But he has actually joined Barcelona now, and he's going to become the leader, the director of La Masia. We don't know exactly the stage, the level of his responsibilities, but this is a very, very big change in what's going to happen for our youngsters at Barcelona. So that's gotta be very important as well to comment on. I think it will be the perfect moment to analyze this, and yeah, I just really want you all guys to participate in on this one, because at this stage, La Masia is no longer a place, a school of football. It's kind of like a place where players just keep getting away. And one more thing before starting off this video, be sure to check out our friends at Golazo Jersey. The links are gonna be in the description down below. They got the newest Barcelona kit, so guess who can look the most epic, most valuable fan of them all. So I want to start off this video by reading you a report from Sport, which is just too fanatic, and I do not like it one bit. What they're doing here is basically telling or saying that if you don't want to be part of Barcelona, then it's you're missing, you know, you're the one missing out, and you should be wrong about yourself and whatever. So this report reads, here is why Barcelona aren't worried about Xavi Simons' departure from the club. They offered him a new deal, but according to the coaching staff, there are players in his age group with more potential. Like, what? Are you serious? What? Barcelona aren't losing any sleep over Xavi Simons' decision to leave and join PSG. His departure doesn't change the current prospect in La Masia because they didn't consider him as a key part of the future. Okay, he became more a marketing than a second coming, and many coaches claim that he only started for the Cadete last season because Jorge Aluste suffered a season-ending injury at the beginning of the season. Those same coaches believe Marc Casado and Chus Alba have a lot more potential than Xavi Simons. Now we can breathe easily. Admitted some people associated with La Masia, it wasn't easy dealing with a 16-year-old who was already known worldwide and incredibly popular across his social media. Barcelona even considered not offering him a new contract, but perhaps concerned by how letting a player of his name value leave without a fight, decided to make an overture to his people. They're basically a little bit mad that he's already thinking about like a complete superstar like a Neymar or whatever, where his dealings are actually by the agent himself and he's looking for a more lucrative deal. That can be in its all right, perfectly fine, because it's exactly what Sport did with other people like De Ligt. For instance, De Ligt, they also said that De Ligt is kind of this hungry man eating, going for the money, and I believe it at one point. I actually did made a video why I didn't care so much him not joining Barcelona, and the reason why I don't care him not joining Barcelona is because the money and all of that can be linked to it. But if at the end the proposal of Barcelona is not as good as the one from Juventus, I cannot like disagree with him. You know, if I'm a footballer and for me they're gonna offer me more game time, more all of that in Juventus, I'm gonna go to Juventus because I'm a 19-year-old and I want to keep progressing in my career, and that's the way I'm gonna do it, going to Juventus and not sitting in the bench at Barcelona. So those are sort of things that we need to be on the lookout for. There's no point in blaming them for our own faults. Barcelona have a lot of problems in its own right, so we gotta fix our box first and then we can start fighting in the ring, you know? And Xavi Simons departing to PSG is not the only one. There has been a number of departures in the last few years that really we should be very mad for. Mateu Moray departure is one of the ones that hurts the club the most. He signed for Borussia Dortmund, and he was one of the most forward-minded flank players the Masia had. Negotiations to extend his contract broke down in the winter, and being free since June the 30th, he was able to discuss terms elsewhere. He's not the only Catalan to head to the north though, because Sergio Gomez acted similarly, also signing for Dortmund, and he was also very good. The cases are similarly to that of Eddie Garcia, though not identical, because he was one of the hottest prospects at La Masia until Manchester City triggered his release clause and lured him to the Etihad Stadium. But there are always another player, and that is Adrian Barande, who he told the club he wasn't going to renew a year ago, and he too joined Manchester City. Jordi Mbula is one of the ones which I was on the lookout for, but he signed then to Benfica. Monaco were interested, and he opted for the Principality as they paid €3 million to free him from his contract. Dani Olmo is one that also hurts us a lot. He came from La Masia before taking a risk moving to Dinamo Zagreb, which isn't of course as big of a club as Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund, PSG, but this guy Dani Olmo is one which I actually do respect because his move was a little more strategical when it comes to progressing his career. And in honesty, his time there went well. He's shown for Spain at the European Under-21 Championship, and now he's on the radar of a number of European club giants, and notably of course Barcelona again. And honestly, that's sort of pathetic because we are letting go of so many players and then we're looking for them to come back. These are all perfectly incredible players that could become world class at one point. And Barcelona, like I said at the start of the video, is no longer a house of football. It looks more as a completely place where players just take their first step and they want to go elsewhere. Because why? Because they know they're not going to progress in the Barcelona system. They take a look at the first team now and you see which player is making an impact from Masia. Just what? Sergi Roberto, and that's it. Carles Aleñá cannot even catch a break. Riqui Puig is only playing on preseason and they're being like completely from one way and another because it just came out that a news that Carles Aleñá gave the shirt to Frankie de Jong in an act of complete kindness, and then it comes to his knowledge that the number was already promised to the Young upon signing the contract. So all of the players of the Masia, apart from not having enough room to grow, they're also being bullied by the Barca board, and that's gonna anger a lot of them. That's because I'm never gonna be mad with a player in this scenario, because they can be asking for more money, they can have a really difficult agent, but if you offer a good deal in terms of sporting reasons, they're always gonna pick you in favor of another, and Barcelona at this stage cannot ensure that, because we still got players like Rakitic, like even Arturo Vidal, players of like 31 years old, 32, which could easily be somewhere else, and we could have room for our youngsters that are developing into becoming those players like that. But before, the difference was that we prefer to promote someone from La Masia to give them like a bone to see if they can work, and now we're signing old players like Arturo Vidal on measly contracts and very easy transfer fees just because we want to ensure the short-term ability of our club's success, and that's not the path Barcelona becomes. That's not the Barcelona I started to fall in love with. Next up, I wanted to comment on a news which is a little bit more positive, yes certainly, and that is that ANSU FATI has penned a new deal with Barcelona, and the young striker will be a key member of Victor Valdés's squad for the U-Under-19 and could even appear in Barcelona B if needed. And quickly from this, I just want to mention the appointments of Victor Valdés, like I already hinted at, being the new coach of the U-Under-19s, and now the appointment of KLUIVERT returning to Barcelona as director of youth. Why do I say this? Some people do not like having your big name players here, but the reason why I do like it is because they're exactly players that have been through this process. Victor Valdés at La Masia, and then you have KLUIVERT being at the Ajax Academy. Both of the players have become just staples of what Barcelona was in the last few years, the last few decades, so they understand it perfectly, and this is what I want from them. I just want them to, one, do their job, of course, don't be lazy, don't be playing Minecraft on your laptop while you should be working, and two, I want them to promote the players, and I want them to instate that on the new coach, which eventually would come, you know? So yeah, guys, continue with it. I want to see what is your thoughts on it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop us a like, leave us a dislike if you didn't, and let me know why in the comment box down below, and of course, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, ciao.